What's going on, guys? So if you're new here to the channel, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and share, and enable notifications. That way you never miss out on any of the Naruto lore-based topic that we talk about here on the channel, from Naruto novel content such as this to lesser known lore. And then at the middle of the month to the end of the month, we do a lot of content that's either Boruto fan theories or Boruto manga discussions. So if the YouTube algorithm accidentally brought you here and you have no idea what Sasuke Jinraiden is, I'm going to help you out. So go to the homepage of the YouTube channel, scroll down to the Naruto novel section, and look for the playlist. It's going to be titled Sasuke Jinraiden, and you'll be able to get all your answers right there. So getting right into it, I think that this is probably my favorite part of this whole entire novel right here, because we get a huge insight into Itachi Uchiha's illness. That's like the one thing that so many people have like 9,000 different questions for. They're like, yo, what was Itachi's illness? Did this dude really die of ninja AIDS? Did he have ninja HIV? What was going on here? Did Itachi have some form of tuberculosis? There have been so many ideas and speculation, and we get some real definite evidence on what Itachi's illness was and what the side effects were. I absolutely love this right here. So what exactly happened? So where the scene takes place, it picks up right where the last one left off, where Sasuke runs into this young boy named Kina, who reminds him so much of Naruto. And they're at the shrine where Itachi went to when Itachi would go to get the medicines that were used to prolong his life. The very same medicines that Obito told Sasuke that Itachi had been taking, that way he wouldn't actually die. Well, what we end up seeing here is that after Sasuke and Kina have their brief skirmish, and the shopkeeper, the owner named Reishi, steps out of the shadows and says that Sasuke must be Itachi's younger brother, they begin cleaning up the shrine and they end up sharing breakfast together. And that's when we learn the truth about Itachi in terms of the side effects with his medicines, as well as get further insight into what Itachi's illness was, in particular why Itachi was coughing up blood so badly. Sasuke is sitting there and he's eating the dish that was revealed to be Itachi's favorite dish, and Sasuke in that time is relishing in the fact that he's sharing the same meal, sitting in the same spot where Itachi once sat. You have memories of Itachi that briefly flittered through Sasuke's mind during this time. He's feeling very connected to Itachi because he's in that shrine that Itachi visited twice a year. And that's when we get the bombshell, when Sasuke gets accused of trying to steal the drugs that are produced inside of the shrine, the same drugs that the black market tries to recreate and has really given this shrine a bad name. That's when Sasuke finds out the truth about Itachi. So with the scene in the context finally being set, is here I'm going to begin reading the scene from the light novel. Then I'm going to come back to you guys my thoughts, and it's here I'm going to begin quoting. Kina shook his fist towards me and said, "Oi, spit it out. You're aiming at trying to take the Katara, aren't you? Your brother told you to come and steal it, didn't he? Well, sorry for you. The Katara can only be produced inside of Reishi's body. It's impossible to try and seize it." Without taking my eyes off of Kina, I said, "Itachi's dead." A deep silence fell. Kina stood still, with his fist still clenched. Lightened by the morning light that entered from the window, dust was floating in the air, gleaming. What a pitiful thing, seeing those dishes scattered on the ground that Kina had thrown. Reishi was the one who broke the silence. "I'm sorry, Sasuke. Kina didn't mean to." Reishi began. "I know. I don't know your reasons, but it's natural for Kina to doubt me. I don't care about the Katara, and if I bought those pills, it was just because I've been told that this is where they came from. I only wanted to verify the reputation of the shop that Itachi trusted so much. That's all," I said. "This Kotaru isn't authentic. The recipe is written on the blood of us members of the Kodan clan," said Reishi, picking up the bag whose content had scattered in 1,000 pieces. "Is it sort of like a Kekkei Genkai?" I asked. "It's nothing so impressive. The main ingredient is an extremely common plant that can be picked at the Three Wolves. Once it gets assimilated by the body, the production starts. That's why it's impossible to steal it. It isn't pills, let alone a substance that grows somewhere. I don't know what they say, but those rumors have no root or leaves? Reishi said. I asked. Well, ultimately the Kotaro doesn't grow anywhere, and the information owned by those who want to get possession of it is unfounded. It is a common saying that an unfounded rumor is something that has no root or leaves, isn't it? Reishi explained to me in a hurry, looking at my aghast face. Reishi, please. Sasuke's new here. Don't start with your jokes, Kina said. Ah, that's it. It was a pun. I thought to myself. Anyway, this Kotaro is not authentic, Reishi said. So that's why Kina said we'll never know where the Kotaro is, I asked, giving a nod of approval with my head. You said you brought it from a drug dealer last night, right? Yes, on a wide, long bridge. Down the road leading here, I said. It's the bridge of the honeysuckle, said Reishi. He drew a pen out the sleeve of his kimono and wrote something on the back. When you spot a fake, you have to write down the time and the place of your purchase. That's for when it's handed over to the police. Reishi said. Is Itachi's medicine prepared with the Kotaro too? I asked. Kotaro is a hypnotic illusionary medicine, but combined with other medicinal herbs, it becomes a powerful sedative. The plants used for the medicaments are sold in this village that can only be picked on the 3 wolves. Depending on how they're mixed, you can obtain over 300 different kinds of medicines, Reishi said. I pulled Itachi's request out of my pocket and I asked him, what does this classification system with the symbols and numbers mean? I asked. The number refers to the medicant. In order to protect the customer's privacy, it's forbidden to write down their names, Reishi said. What about the wording below? I asked. It shows the intensity of the side effects. There are not very effective medicaments and so contraindication free. There are middle rank ones that don't develop any kind of toxicity if ingested for limited periods of time. In the end, there is this last kind that is extremely effective medicaments, though they have strong side effects, Reishi said. What kind of disorder do they cause? I asked. In Itachi's eye drops case, a temporary loss of sight can occur, Reishi said. I see. So that's why it's seen completely white, I thought to myself. I turned the request upside down. Do you have any idea what this 7 means? It looks like he wrote it himself, I asked. Reishi's look became illusory. No, I don't know. I couldn't understand what was troubling him, but I decided that changing the subject was the best thing to do. Could you talk to me a little bit about Itachi? I asked. Before he could open his mouth, Kina placed himself in front of me. I'm sorry for before. It's okay, I said. I didn't want to speak ill about Itachi, but there's a lot of people who want to gain possession of the Kotaro, he said roughly. You were right. What do you mean? Kina asked. Don't let your family be underestimated. Your duty is to protect the shop, I said. Kina nodded heartily. Actually, I don't know much about him, but he came and bought this medicine once or twice a year, but Reishi said. But I asked. After a moment of hesitation, he finally spoke. But he said that if one day his brother came here, it would have meant that he probably had already died. He added that he wanted to live for a little while longer in order to carry out other things. After that, he wouldn't care about anything anymore. For this reason, I prepared a stronger medicament for him, but with stronger side effects, it provoked a searing pain to the lungs and contaminated the blood of the one who made use of it. Inside me, I thought it was so typical of Itachi. Everything's so minutely foreseen. Everything's so terribly sad. Had he suffered, I thought. I didn't want to know that answer. I replayed the scene in my mind when he summoned the Susanoo. In the throes of pain, he had clung to his chest for a moment and he had coughed blood. Maybe then. Was his health condition already hopeless? End quote. So what I like right here is that Sasuke, in this moment, when he finds out that Itachi had planned out everything, it lines up with what Obito had already told him, that Itachi basically scripted the entire battle where Sasuke versus Itachi had taken place. And Sasuke has a moment where he hears about the side effects that this drug has. And Sasuke immediately thinks back to how when Itachi used that Susanoo, he began coughing up blood. He began clutching on his chest. That right there was the sign of a lot of rumors that people had where people said like, oh my God, okay, so Itachi had tuberculosis, that's why he was coughing up blood. That wasn't the case right there. That was just a side effect of the medicines that Itachi was taking. Itachi's medicines are why Itachi's lungs were forcing him to cough up blood, because Itachi's actual blood was being contaminated. And what I like about this right here is that it just shows you how far Itachi was willing to go in service of the Hidden Leaf Village. That is something very huge right there, because Itachi was willing to put his body through so much in order to gather intel on the Akatsuki and try to at least prevent them from going after Naruto and trying to bring down the organization from the inside, as well as try and give Konoha the ultimate weapon that it would need in order to combat the Akatsuki, in particular combat Naruto Uchiha, which is, if Itachi's plan would have gone the way he wanted, then Sasuke would have returned to Konoha. Itachi's death would have caused Sasuke to get the Mangekyo Sharingan, and if Sasuke would have ended up taking Itachi's eyes and getting the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, he already had the crow implanted inside of Naruto to where the crow would pop out, Shisui's Koto Matsukami would go into effect, and Sasuke would be serving Konoha no matter what. So he was trying to give Konoha a great weapon, and Naruto was a lot of his contingency plan. So I like this right here because, again, it just shows you that Itachi's that character that was thinking 10 steps ahead the whole time. So what I want to know from you guys is, how do you guys feel about this explanation on why Itachi was coughing up the blood, and how do you feel about the side effects that he had? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.